Hello again, welcome back to Football Spy, sponsored by our friends at Relevance. And as you'll know by now, the waiting is over. Joe Cole is a Liverpool player. You all know the drill by now. You've been in touch with your thoughts. We've got the winner of the competition to win the Jabulani Ball for correctly predicting where Joe would go coming up. We've also got stacks of your messages to go through and lots of your views on where contract rebel Mesut Ozil should go next season. But first of all, let's get into some transfers. News reaching us today that Eduardo is having a medical at Aston Villa from Arsenal. We're also going to start with Manchester United boss Sir Alex Ferguson because he won't be buying any more players after snapping up Javier Hernandez and Chris Smalling. United fans, can you win the title with the squad you have? There's chaos at Fulham as Martinelli's decided today that he may well stay at Ajax in principle. They've decided to give him what he's been looking at, which means no move for Robbie Keane or the Portsmouth keeper David James as we had expected. And this is a story that's left me staggered over the last 24 hours. Italian media are reporting that Man City are about to sign the striker Mario Balotelli for a staggering £32 million on a 5-year contract worth around £4 million a year. I'm not really sure what he's done in the game to command that salary, but I'm truly staggered. And it's left me wondering what's going to happen to Adebayor and Carlos Tevez at Eastlands next season. Now, the rules state that clubs are not allowed to talk to players and or their representatives without having agreed a fee with that player's club. But we all know it goes on, and Didier Drogba's agent has claimed today in The Sun that he's speaking to Man City. I've got to say, City have come out this morning and categorically denied that is the case, but that all is very intriguing indeed. Smacks of a new contract wanted by Drogba, in my opinion. Now, I'm bored with the Fabregas thing, but it's trundling on, and today the Mail say that he may hand in a transfer request to force a move to Barcelona. West Ham are still in the hunt for the Nice striker Loic Remy, says SkySports.com, but he's already said that he'd far rather go to Liverpool, which is probably why West Ham are in for the Rosario Central Argentine striker Milton Caraglio. That's in today's Daily Mirror. Also in the Mirror, the Aston Villa boss Martin O'Neill set to table a £10 million bid for the Celtic midfielder Aidan McGee. The Sun say that Greek side Panathinaikos have stepped up their bid to sign the out-of-contract Gunners defender William Gallas. And finally, in the Mail, Birmingham have been approached about a deal for Monterrey's Chile striker Humberto Suazo, good player, and have expressed an interest in Argentine midfielder Juan Roman Riquelme, who's a free agent. Now that I asked you yesterday to tell me where you think the Werder Bremen midfielder Mesut Ozil is going. He's got a year left on his contract and his club are listening to offers because he won't sign a new one. As usual, your response has been fantastic. Spy@mirror.co.uk. James Hamilton wants to see him at Bayern Munich. Casey Fussner wants him at Man United. The N Fate says, as an Arsenal fan, it's really hard for me to say this, but I think Ozil will go to Bayern Munich if he doesn't join Juventus. I'm 100% sure. Manchester United don't have the money and Chelsea don't need him. Drake thinks Liverpool will swap Babel or Lucas for Ozil. Talio thinks United because he says they lack creativity in their squad. Wayne 150 thinks Ozil should go to Spurs as they missed out on Joe Cole, but where would he play, Wayne? And the Black Tipping Point thinks that he'll go to Arsenal. Madness for me, I can't see where he'd play there either. I agree with King Kung Fu Cantona, who says United because they have the weakest midfield in the top 6 in his opinion. Email me or post on YouTube with your thoughts on where Mesut Ozil should go. Now, time for the part of the show that's probably a bit more popular than the transfers. I asked you last week for your teams and the way you want them to line up going into the new season, and you've inundated me with your teams on the email and on YouTube. We've got some really good ones today, so we'll do a couple more than usual. I like this Arsenal team from Cotton Heat. It's got the Lyon keeper Hugo Lloris in goal. Good choice, but I don't think they can afford him. Songs in front of the new look back four with Jack Wilshere alongside Fabregas bursting forward from midfield. Walcott and Arshavin are on the flanks with Van Persie up front. It's a realistic team, and I think that's probably the way Arsenal will start the new season. This is Stella Babe's Man United 11. And you guys never cease to amaze me. Again, no defensive midfielder in the lineup, and a 35-year-old Paul Scholes alongside Fletcher screening the back four. No chance, in my opinion, of that team winning anything. Up front, it's looking quite good. Valencia, Ozil and Nani all behind Rooney, but it's that defensive midfield position that worries me on this one. Let's have a look at Monkey Bob's Arsenal 11. First of all, it's interesting to see that he's got the young goalkeeper Vito Manoni in goal. He's going to need at least another season before he's ready. In defence, he's got Vermaelen alongside the new boy Koscielny. Diaby and Song are holding with Nasri and Arshavin in the wide positions. No Bentner up front. It's Van Persie and Shamak instead. I like that side, but it's not too different from last season. And where is Cesc Fabregas? This is Czech Chelsea's Chelsea team. And this is more like it. The back four is as you'd expect, but it's a front six that I like. Mesut Ozil's alongside Lampard in front of a fit again Michael Essien. And up front, it's Malouda wide, Drogba up front in the centre forward position, and Torres in a wide position as well. I think he'd be wasted out there, but I see what you're trying to do. And some real thinking outside the box for our next two. This is where Luis wants his Barcelona side to line up next season. The new signing, Adriano, is at left back. Cesc Fabregas is bizarrely in front of the back four with Xavi and Iniesta in front of him. And up front, Leo Messi is in behind a front line of David Villa and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Now, after all the controversy of the World Cup, there's been a lot of debate as to how England will line up when they play Hungary on August the 11th in a friendly. Spencer Mike thinks he's got the answer. Now, this is the only England team that I'm going to show on the show because, strictly speaking, it's a transfer show. But here it is. Spencer's got Joe Hart in goal, the same back four as normal, but his midfield's very interesting. He's got Walcott on the right, Milner on the left, and Adam Johnson in central midfield alongside Frank Lampard. Up front, it's Gerrard behind Rooney, and I've got to say, not too much change there with no defensive midfielder. I think that team might well struggle in the Euros as well as the World Cup. Just to say to Joseph Stevens, I'll get your West Ham team on tomorrow. Also to Michael Datt, Faraz Al-Dawaish, Mustafa Sherzi, Simon Buchanan, Vinny, Konstantin Kabanenko, Ryan Smith, and all of you that have sent your teams in on the email. We will get to them on the show over the next few days and weeks. And we're not just featuring the big teams, as you say, Simon, so get your team in regardless of who it is. Time for your messages, and to all of you asking why we don't extend the show to get more stuff in, I'm really sorry. We do have a job on getting it together at a decent time as it is, so thank you for all of your nice messages. Yeah, please do keep them coming in. Team JGP is a Man United fan, wants to know the latest on Udinese's Chile striker Alexis Sanchez along with Slovakia's Napoli midfielder Marek Hamsik. Well, Udinese say they're not going to sell Sanchez, while Hamsik does want to go, but nobody's come in for him like he expected they would do. To Dilgosha, I think Arsenal's next signing is going to be a midfielder, and I think it might well be the Brazil midfielder Felipe Melo from Juventus. Arsene Wenger likes him a lot. To Angelus, no, I don't think Sir Alex Ferguson is going to swap Vidic for Benzema at Real Madrid. I think Vidic would still pull in a lot of money in response to Fison's question about his transfer value. And lots of you have had to say on Joe Cole's decision to sign for Liverpool, but I've only picked out Dan CFC's comment because he's not impressed. He says here, why did Joe Cole snub Spurs and Arsenal, who are both in the Champions League, to go to Liverpool, who are not in the Champions League? It's not a great move at all. Well, actually, Dan, I think it is. He's going to play at Liverpool pretty much every week, but he's not guaranteed to Arsenal or Spurs. Now then, time to tie up a fairly important loose end, our Jabulani Ball competition. I asked you the other day to tell me who you thought would be the first signing of the new Roy Hodgson era at Liverpool. As we found out yesterday, the correct answer was indeed Joe Cole. Lots and lots and lots of you got it right. But congratulations to Ben Hook, who's our winner, and will get this Jabulani Ball sent through in the post. We're going to deflate it so that it arrives safely, but it's on its way to you. So send us your details on spy@mirror.co.uk. And finally, a happy birthday to Abbas. He hasn't told me how old he is, but sending me good wishes anyway, as usual. Football Spy is back with you tomorrow. I'll see you next time.